Linux is or has a ton of different versions. This website called distrowatch.com is one of my favorite places to go to see what the trending ones are right now. So if I look on the bottom right hand side, this says how many has been loaded or downloaded in the last 6 months using links from this site. That doesn't mean that's the total number that downloaded. It's just saying what's the most prevalent when people come here and go there. So you can see that their most popular version is MX Linux. The one we just did, Ubuntu, is number 4 on the list. And there's 100 different versions. There's more than that, but there's 100 different versions on their list of ones that you can download. All of them were made off of the very first version of Linux, off of a whole splitting of different philosophies and codes. Debian right here, number 5, is one of the major ones that many of these are built off of, just like there's a bunch set off of the Fedora branch. If I want to know more about one, I can just click on it, and then it tells me a little bit about it. So this one, last update came out in June of 2020, which means it's way early, more recent release than the most recent one of, say, Windows. It's based on Linux and the Debian branch. It originated in Greece and the United States. And it's basically a desktop-oriented Linux distro based on Debian stable branch. You can read that. And it shows you where the website is you can go to, that you could go to and download it for free. And I really wanted to bring you this because I've tried probably only about 15 of this list on here to see which ones were best for given laptops and for given situations, because every version of Linux doesn't have every single driver. So sometimes you'll download one and try it on a piece of hardware and I'm like, it didn't work. And sometimes you'll download it and I was like, it's everything, it's perfect. In fact, all of our servers, our web servers, are built off Ubuntu because I used to use Fedora and the drives stopped working correctly. And so I looked for another version that would have all the drivers and everything would work. So if you've got an old computer at home, and I mean old as 10 years old or older even, you probably could find the perfect version of Linux to make it feel like a new machine. It's not going to look like Windows. It's going to look like that version of Windows or that version of Linux that someone put together, and you have to like the version they put together, right? But you can really recover old hardware, especially laptops. There's a lot of students who brought in and said, hey, this laptop's really old, it's too slow, it doesn't work. And I'll be like, hey, have you thought of installing Linux on it? And you'll install Linux on it, and then all you need is a new battery, and you've got a brand new laptop. So if you know somebody who's getting rid of an old laptop, and I'm not saying a ginormous old clunker, if you go to a garage sale, find a reasonably sized laptop that you would not mind carrying around that has all the pieces and parts and hasn't been scavenged. I've bought laptops for less than $5 at a garage sale, put Linux on it, and gave it to somebody who needed a laptop because Linux is free and it will work on older devices. So anyways, I just wanted to point out DistroWatch for you so you could see how many different versions there are. All of them, if you click on and look at them, have reasons that that version was developed. Some of them are developed to be super small to fit on a flash drive. Some of them were developed to be super fast. Some of them were developed to be the most like Windows. So if you go through and take a look at this website, you would kind of get an idea of all the different options and versions of Linux that are there. You may not like Ubuntu that we just tested. You may like Mint. You may like MX Linux. There may be one out there that you're like, this one's awesome. And in general, you can download it, put it on a flash drive, try it on another device. Didn't like that one, download a different one, put it on the same flash drive, reformat it, and put it on another device until you find the one you like. So I'm going to possibly have that as an assignment to look at DistroWatch and try a couple versions, and I obviously would give you all a flash drive to do that with if we were going to try that out.